So I'm pretty sure you know who this person is. But just in case you don't, his name is Mr. Sushil Kumar. And he was one of the winners of Kaun Banega Crorepati in 2011. The interesting part is that he won rupees 5 crores and after tax deduction, he would have received around 3.5 crores. This sounds like a dream come true, right? That too in 2011. But unfortunately, the story didn't have a happy ending. Sushil Kumar eventually went bankrupt, and one of the reasons behind this was his lack of financial literacy. He had no structured plan for investing the money which he has received from KBC. Now just imagine if he would have invested this particular amount in an index fund in 2010-11. Today in 2025, his wealth would have easily surpassed rupees 15 crores. But due to his poor financial decision, his money depleted over time. So even financial experts like Mr. PV Subramaniam, he also emphasizes the importance of structured investing. He explains how small disciplined investment can lead to massive wealth accumulation over time. This brings us to a crucial discussion. What are the key financial lessons that every person should know? If you want to secure your financial future, it is absolutely critical to understand and apply these lessons which I am going to explain in this particular video. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, make sure you subscribe it right now because I keep on coming with such insightful videos and content which will definitely benefit if you are from financial background or even if you are not from financial background. So let's get started. Lesson number 1. Keep money ready for emergencies. Most people put all their money into things like stocks or mutual funds in order to grow it and enjoy the compounded benefit of it. But they don't save any cash when things go out of hand. Just imagine, what if you lose your job? Or what if you get a big hospital bill? Where will you get the money from? You might have to sell your investments fast, where the prices might be low and your investments might not be even profitable. Or you might have to borrow cash from someone and pay extra interest on it. So that's the reason, even though when people ask us that, okay, go and invest your money in a mutual fund or keep your money always in stocks, that is not always recommended. You should have an emergency fund in hand. So here's a thumb rule. For emergency fund, what you can do is you can keep at least 6 to 12 months of your expenditure in your emergency fund. So this is your emergency money. You will not touch it unless any critical situation arises in your life. And don't ever keep this emergency fund in mutual fund or in stocks. Although they are liquid in nature, but I will not recommend you doing that because in case of market crash or uncertainties, you will not be able to withdraw that particular amount. What I will advise you is you can invest that amount in a fixed deposit or in a government bond or in some of the top banks bonds also. But you should never invest it in stocks or mutual funds which are very high risky. Now you will ask me that, Rajat, why do we exactly need to keep our 12 months of expenses into FD or into an emergency fund? Because if the problem is big, it will take substantial amount of time to get back to normal. Even Monica Halan, the author of Let's Talk Money, says that many people don't see how useful emergency cash is. It stops you from messing up with your life when life gets hard. So don't think it as a wasted money. Think of it as a smart plan. Investing is great. I'm not saying don't invest. Investing is great, but having cash for tough times is better. It's not about fear, it's about being prepared. And since surprises always happen, this is a smart lesson to learn. Lesson number 2. Know the difference between good loans and bad loans. So just to bust the myth, not all loans are bad. The key is to figure out which loans are helpful and which one can cause you trouble in future. So in order to understand this, let's understand what are bad loans. Bad loans are the loans which you take for depreciating assets like your car, phone, vacation, etc. These things lose value over time. They don't help you to make more money. For example, if you buy a car using your loan, a car gets old and its value reduces over time, but you will be paying extra interest on that investment. Now, what are good loans? Good loans are basically the loans which you take for the assets which will make you more money over time. Like let's say you can take a loan for purchasing a house, purchasing a commercial property, or even investing in your education. These all things will pay you over time. Like a house can increase the value over time. It can also give you rental income also. Education can get you a better job, better opportunities. So these loans help you to build your wealth in the future. Many people make a very big mistake in their life by taking too many EMIs into their account. Here's an easy rule which many people follow. If you can't buy something twice with your own cash, you can't afford it. As simple as that. For example, if you want to purchase an iPhone that costs rupees 1 lakh, you should have at least 2 lakhs in your bank account or in cash, not in your stocks and mutual fund. So this keeps your impulsive purchases in check, and you can very closely monitor your purchases, and you can see that whether actually you need that product or not, and whether actually your balance sheet supports purchasing that particular product in EMI or not. I'll personally not recommend you to purchase cars or phones in EMI ever. I'll always recommend you to save, invest the money, and then use that particular investment in purchasing these all assets if you want to in future. So you must be knowing Mr. Rakesh Unionwala, right? So he has a very famous quote. So he said that debt taken for right reasons is good, but debt taken to satisfy short-term desires is a well destroyer. This means that loans for smart things are fine, but loans for fun stuff which you don't actually need it can ruin your finances. Moving on to lesson number 3. Make your money grow faster than the inflation goes up. I'm pretty sure you must have heard it many times. So a lot of people think that investing is all about growing their money. That's one part of it. But the real goal is to make your money grow faster than the inflation. So what exactly is inflation? So inflation is when the prices of the things or prices of the goods like food, clothes or rent, they go up over time. So if your money doesn't keep up with the pace at which the prices are going up in the market, you will end up burning your money even if you have invested that particular money in stocks, mutual funds, etc. So let's break it down for you in few examples. Like let's take the example of Japan. If you look at this particular chart, here you can see the inflation in Japan. It's hardly going up, right? So even if you'll put your money in the Bank of Japan, if you're staying in Japan and if you have put your money in their bank, the money still holds the value and you can still buy the same product after multiple years. But let's take the example of India, where inflation is around 6 to 7% every year and the prices increases by 6 to 7% every year. So basically this means that if you leave your money in the bank, it loses the value at a very faster rate. For example, if you put rupees 100 today in your bank account, and if your bank pays you let's say 2% interest, and let's say if today you are able to buy 1 kg apples at 100 rupees. Now next year, your money which you have kept it in the bank, let's say that 100 rupees increases to 103 rupees. But the prices of apples, that increases to 106 rupees. So in a way, today you can afford 1 kg of apples, but the next year, with the same 100 rupees, you will not be able to afford 1 kg of apples. That's the real meaning of inflation. So investing is fine, but investing in an instrument which actually beats inflation, that's where the catch is. So in a country like India, where inflation is so high, India is a growing country, you need to put your money into things that grow faster than inflation. Like you can put it in index funds, stocks, even real estates. But I understand these assets can be a bit risky, but if you don't take that particular risk, you will actually not be able to make wealth over the years. Well, this reminds me of a very famous saying of a TV series which I personally loved, which was Scam 1992, which was about the story of Harshad Mehta. And there was a very famous dialogue which I think you must recall, which is risk hai to ishq hai. So that's what it basically means, that you need to take some degree of risk in order to make sure that you can reap the benefit out of it. Lesson number 4, investing in non-paper assets. First, let's understand what are paper assets and what are non-paper assets. Paper assets are the kind of financial instruments that exist in electronic or physical paper form, like stocks, mutual funds, fixed deposits, etc. And non-paper assets are physical assets that have an intrinsic value and it is independent of any issuing institutions like your gold or property. So solely relying on stocks or mutual fund is like putting all your eggs in one basket. If the stock market crashes, your savings could take a very big hit. But if you have invested some of your amount in non-paper assets also, then you have actually built up a safety net over time. Now you will ask me that Rajat, tell us some of the examples of non-paper assets in which we can actually invest in. The first non-paper assets which comes into my mind is real estates. So government can print as much money as they want to, based on the economic needs. But they can't produce more land, right? Land is limited, which makes it very, very special. So over time, the value of land will eventually climb. Although the price appreciation of land is dependent on many, many factors, but still, the value of land will definitely increase over time. Also, if you own a property, you can rent it out and you can generate 2 to 3% return from there also. Second non-paper asset, which is my favorite, that is gold. So gold is a very great hedge against inflation and even against stock market crashes. There is a very fancy saying that gold holds its value when prices for everyday stuffs or everyday products goes up. Plus, if the value of money starts dropping, which is known as currency depletion, often you can see that gold has an inverse relationship with depreciation of money. So when the money value decreases, the prices of gold often increases. So in a way it provides us a great safety net. I have recently uploaded a detailed video on gold and why the prices of golds are increasing day by day. I'll just drop it in the I button above. You can just click over there after this video and you can watch that video too. Now you might be thinking that stocks can make me rich. So why do we exactly need to bother and look for all of the non-paper instruments? Well, fair point. Stocks can increase exponentially, but they can also crash. So one of my favorite book of Mr. Saurav Mukherjee, which is The Unusual Billionaires, in that book he has said that real wealth isn't about chasing the latest hot stock. It's about diversifying across various asset classes. In other words, a wealthy person will never put all of its money in a single instrument or in a single product. They will diversify the instrument across various products in order to reduce the risk of their portfolio and to get a very steady return. So it's like giving your finances a balanced diet instead of just eating dal and chawal every day. Lesson number 5, not buying insurance early enough. Many of us skip insurance because we think that it's like throwing money away, right? Because you're not getting any return out of it. But is this really a good idea? What if you keep on waiting year by year thinking that okay, I'll buy insurance next year, I'll buy insurance next year, and then an uncertainty arises and you end up paying substantial amount of money for hospital bills. Well, let me spit some facts to you. In India, the inflation for hospital bills are about 14%, which means that the hospital bills are increasing by 14% every year as compared to India's inflation rate, which is around 6 to 7%. And here's another thing. The older you get, the more you pay for the insurance. For example, let's say if you are 25 years old and if you go on and buy a term insurance right now, it will cost you around say 8,000 rupees per year. But let's say if you'll buy the same term insurance after 10 years, that is definitely going to cost you somewhere around 16,000 to 17,000 every year. And the thing about term insurances are that they remain constant across all the years. The premium for term insurances usually don't increase year by year. They stay constant over the years, but the value which is getting constant, that will depend upon the age in which you are investing in that particular term insurance. I've also heard this from many people, even from some of my relatives. They keep on saying me that Rajat, I jog every day. I am fit. I don't actually need a term insurance. I don't actually need a medical insurance. But I tell them, think about 2020 when COVID-19 struck. At that point in time, families got stuck with huge medical bills, which they never ever expected. Some people even had to sell off all of their properties and even take loan to fund their medical bills. Do you really want to take that chance? So that's the reason it's my personal recommendation. If you don't have a Mediclaim, go right now, search on Google and take the best possible Mediclaim which you want to. If you need any advice regarding Mediclaim, just drop a comment and I will help you choose the best one for you. Mr. Nilesh Shah, so he is an expert from Kotak AMC. So he basically sums it in a very beautiful way. You're not buying insurance because you will die, but because your family will keep on living. So that basically makes us think that we are buying insurance for our loved ones and not for our own. Our last lesson of the video, lesson number 6, mastering cash flow management. So you might be thinking that you are earning 5 lakhs a month. You are all set in life. You don't need to plan your finances, you don't need to do anything. Since you are earning so much, automatically everything will get in place, right? But hold on, this is a misconception. What really matters is how much money you are saving after all of your expenditures, after emergency funds and everything. It's not exactly about how much you make. I've seen many people who are earning, let's say, 30 or 40,000 rupees a month, and they end up saving 50% of the salary. And at the same time, a person who is earning 2 lakh rupees a month, they also end up saving just 20 to 30,000 rupees per month. So that's the reason. It doesn't matter how much you earn. What matters is how much you are eventually saving and how smartly you are investing that amount. That brings us to a very important discussion. Always and always prepare a cash flow. Cash flow will help you to identify that where your money is going, where actually you are investing the money, and how much you're eventually saving it. A lot of people believe that I earn a lot, so I'm fine. But here's the twist. Even high earners can struggle if they're not careful. So Mr. Harshvardhan Patodia, who is the president of Credai, he says it very perfectly that a common mistake salaried person make is thinking that their income will always be there, but without being smart with their money. And without being smart with their money, even big earners can have a very tough time. So guys, that's a huge wake up call. If you're not tracking your funds regularly, where your money is exactly going, just download an application. There are many applications out there. Download any of the application. Make sure you prepare a proper cash flow of the funds which you are getting every month. So if you are getting 2 lakh rupees a month from your company, just write down the list of expenses which you are making, how much you are investing in which funds, and what is the net saving, net basically surplus amount which you are getting. Then you need to divide 30 to 40% of the surplus amount to an emergency fund, and the remaining you can spend it on you. Like you can either invest in yourself, in your education, or in upscaling yourself, or you can spend it in traveling or your leisure activities. So guys, if you need any help regarding preparation of a proper cash flow for you, just drop a comment, drop in your income and expenses. I'll help you get it sorted. And if you are struggling that where your money is going, you're not sure how to analyze a bank statement or anything for that matter, just consider me as your brother and drop a comment and I will help you with it. So guys, this brings us to the end of our video. So just to summarize, financial literacy is very, very important in 2025. With the rising inflation, the cost of medical expenses and uncertainties around us, smart money management is the key to financial freedom. I'll end this video with a very famous quote from Mr. Warren Buffett. He said that if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will have to work until you die. So guys, that's all in this video. Don't forget to drop a like or a comment because that will boost this video and that will help more and more people become financially literate. Thank you so much guys for your time. This is Rajat signing off.